has become outdated. Now, whether or not that is something good is besides the point, because in reality, you can't really enforce the traditional kind of executive-led regime, because under the basic law, the legislature does have its power to check the administration. So even if you want to have an active government, the government try to lead, that government has to work on the basis of executive, legislative checks and balance. So how do you create that kind of co-responsibility between the two branches? I think that is important. When Mr. Cheung met the media, I think he sort of said, well, look at what I've done to the recent committee set up to examine post-retirement employment of former officials. Coincidentally, because I wasn't aware of what Mr. Cheung has to say in his policy address or how he talked about it. But one of my articles last week, I did mention this particular committee because this committee is very interesting. You find the party leaders of various parties, including pro-democracy parties there. Now, so my point made in my article was, if that kind of arrangement could be extended to some other important committees, would that present some kind of breakthrough in achieving more cooperation between parties on one hand and government on the other? The fourth point which I made is whether the government is at the crossroads of a low tax regime and much higher welfare expectations. I think for Hong Kong, somehow, during the colonial era, we have created this myth that we could have a low tax but high welfare regime. Hong Kong was not a welfare state, but because of affluence, because of rapid economic growth, somehow, and of course because of growth or expansion in the government's public finances fueled by land prices, the property boom, somehow Hong Kong government was able to deliver a lot of welfare improvements without increasing tax. But looking ahead, that may not be entirely feasible. But is government willing to